Okay, turning the spotlight now to this. Paris at a crossroads. Will e-scooters get off the road? Parisians themselves will decide and shape the future of transportation.
A referendum in Paris in April on banning e-scooters. And one of the reasons why we're even coming to this point where the people of Paris are having to vote on whether they should ban 15,000 e-scooters that are currently in the city is because folks were getting tired of them being scattered about the sidewalks and streets. And then, speaking of unfortunate collisions, there was also a fatality related to somebody getting run down by an e-scooter. In this article, it also mentions how there's a New York City Council member who's introduced a bill to ban all e-bikes and e-scooters. And part of the reason that's coming up.
A dangerous jungle. Nobody respects any traffic regulations at all. They just run through the red lights. They run on sidewalks.
Micromobility vehicles, and especially free-floating electric scooters, have been thriving over the past couple of years, Paris being the most important market worldwide.
Paris is an amazing city that has been leading the way, especially when it comes to making mobility more accessible and sustainable to a wider demographic. This can be illustrated with the electric scooter pilots that happened in the city of Paris.
According to a 2021 road survey conducted by Université Gustave Eiffel, electric scooters users rarely own their proper microvehicle, are mostly men, aged 18 to 29, and have a higher educational level. They are not less motorized than the general population and use electric scooters occasionally. Their main motivation is travel time savings followed by playfulness and money savings. However, users seeking money savings are not frequent riders. They shifted mainly from walking and public transportation, 72%, and few have increased their total mobility by making new trips, 6%. The microvehicle market had boomed in France even before the rapid expansion of free-floating electric scooters. Already in 2018, e-scooters became the first sale of the microvehicle market, accounting for €110 million and representing a surge of plus 76% in terms of value and plus 129% in terms of volume compared to 2017. At the same time, non-electric scooter sales dropped by 20% within 1 year. Between June 2018 and May 2019, 13 electric scooter operators penetrated the Parisian market, totalizing a fleet of over 20,000 free-floating electric scooters and making Paris the biggest world market and a micromobility showcase. Paris municipal authorities expected the fleet to double by 2020. They can potentially contribute to reduce private car use and mitigate its related externalities, congestion, emissions, noise, car accidents. Indeed, like other micro-vehicles and shared mobility services, electric scooters may answer the first last-mile problem or even be used for door-to-door trips. They could thus have a positive effect on human footprint, as they are potentially less harmful to the environment, especially if they substitute private cars in the case of Paris. They could also have a positive effect on congestion aboard transit vehicles that could be used instead for longer trips only. Congestion in public transport vehicles is a serious problem of the Parisian network, especially during rush hours. On the other hand, ES could potentially substitute active modes like walking and cycling and, thus, generate negative effects to public health and to the environment. The lifespan of free-floating electric scooters and the end of life of these vehicles, especially their electric batteries, are two main environmental issues currently questioned. Another raising issue is public space sharing. The latter concerns road pavement and sidewalks used for electric scooter circulation and, also, for electric scooter parking. The curbside is nowadays recognized as a strategic place for mobility optimization that needs to be managed, meaning, dynamically allocated and priced. So far, cities have been dealing with this emerging mode of transport with the trial and error method. Finally, important safety concerns arise as evidence on e-scooter related accidents become available, while rules and legislation still remain unclear in many cases: vehicle certification, right-of-way, speed limits, obligatory safety equipment, insurances, and so on. In spite of the apparent interest of these questions, few data and relevant studies have been published, mainly due to commercial confidentiality and free-floating electric scooters competition issues. As a result, public authorities and the scientific community have little knowledge on electric scooter users and usages. This knowledge is however critical to the understanding of this phenomenon, and the elaboration of evidence-based policies capable of mitigating possible negative effects while encouraging all positive ones.
I am very happy to announce that we will have people from the government side, the electric scooter operators, but also from the local business owners, local restaurant owners, to come on the podcast, share their arguments. We will look at the data, we will analyze the data, we will try to see what the added value was of electric scooters, if there was any. We will discuss the potential issues that electric scooters had. We will look at the potential solutions, and I think that will be able to provide a good enough information for the people who will ultimately make the decision on whether to ban electric scooters in Paris or not. And so I am looking forward to have everyone on. Make sure that you are subscribed on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. This is going to be a great, great debate with the people who have been dealing with the pilots in Paris, who have a lot of things to say, who have been very active on Twitter, by the way. So now they have the platform to share their data, discuss the data, and have someone who will be asking them the real questions. So I'm looking forward to that, and I hope everyone subscribes to the podcast.